record. Perfect. All right. Thank you guys for hopping on. I know that this team call was labeled time management, and Ash and I realized that obviously our lifestyles now aren't as relatable to most of you, because I think only 2 other coaches right now, maybe a little bit more, are only coaching full-time right now. So we thought it would be more beneficial for you if we talked about our time schedule before we became full-time coaches. So what we were doing, the jobs that we had, the lifestyle that we had, and how we managed it to become full-time coaches. So I'm just going to get into it. And for those of you who already know kind of my story before I started coaching and what I was doing, sorry in advance, because I'm going to be a little bit repetitive. But so my lifestyle, I was almost 4 years ago now, I think, right? 3.5 years, 4 years ago. But I was working a full-time job, 9 to 5 at my family business. I was doing the marketing and remarketing in like the corporate world, right? So I was going on business dinners. I was going to conventions, meetings. So I was not only going 9 to 5, but I was also going 7 a.m. to 9, and then the 9 to 5, and then sometimes dinners from 5 till whenever the client wanted to go. We traveled on the weekends, and we had daily conventions that we would go to sometimes. So that was my first thing, my full-time job schedule. Second, I coached cheerleading when I first started coaching 1 to 2 times a week. And that was in Albany, and I lived in Burnt Hills. So that was like basically took up my whole night. I would get home at like 9 o'clock on those nights. I was also on a world's dance team. That was the first year after I'd graduated from college, and I was on a dance team. We practiced, I think, 1 day a week, and then obviously we traveled for competitions on the weekends. And then sometimes we had practice on Sundays too. And I also lived at 3 different households. And that was all by choice. I lived with my mom sometimes, I lived with my dad sometimes, and I lived at my boyfriend sometimes. So when I would come home from whatever place I had to be at, I would literally do my workout, shower, get ready, and go to wherever I was staying for the night. So basically, in a nutshell, the bottom line of me telling you guys all of that is it's so easy to come up with excuses and say all of these reasons why, coaching doesn't work for me, or I'm too busy. But at the end of the day, you make it work, right? We are the reason why our business fails, and we are the reason why our business succeeds. And what was always sticking with me was there are so many coaches at the time that had such busier schedules than me that were being successful. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. So that's what it comes down to, is just making it work for yourself regardless of your schedule. So what I did was I made a plan to be disciplined. So obviously I had to find those time frames during my day that I was wasting just doing things that I could be doing more productive things, right? So maybe watching Netflix episodes when I got home from work and binging those, or listening to music on the radio on my rides home from work. Just scrolling on social media when I'm sitting laying in bed on my phone, watching movies with Nick. We would watch movies, like movie after movie after movie, and it's like we just wasted 6 hours, but like you don't realize that until you're looking for those moments of your day that you're like, okay, I do have time, but I'm just like sitting here. So I had to find all of those little pockets of time that I was wasting doing things that I could be replacing with work. And then I had to get organized, and I had to figure out, okay, so instead of listening to the radio on my way to work, I had a 15, 20-minute drive. I would catch up on team call recordings if I couldn't make them. Or I was listening to the national wake-up call that is every Monday morning that I couldn't listen to while I was at work. Or past national wake-up calls, or old YouTube videos from other coaches of things that like I didn't know that I wanted to learn. That became quickly a place for me to learn. I would literally pull up YouTube, pull up a coach that I loved, listen to a topic that I wanted to learn about, and drive to work. And then if I didn't finish it, I would listen to it on my way to my house for my lunch break. So I used those times to listen to calls that I missed because of other obligations. I would post on my lunch break because I know a lot of us who work full-time jobs or work all day, you can't be on your phone, and your coworkers can't be like, yo, Tiff is sitting at her desk and she just posted on Facebook and she's supposed to be doing work. It looks bad and people see it and they know you're on social media. So the time that I would do it was on my lunch break, and I would make it apparent in my posts and say, have to take this lunch break to shout out so-and-so on her rank advancement. So I not only posted on my lunch break, but I posted that I was posting on my lunch break so other people in the office would know when they went home that day that I wasn't just posting on social media when I was at work. Other things that I did was I created images and post ideas on the weekends. So I would literally sit down and say, okay, what are some of the things that I want to post today? And I would say, I'm going to post a transformation picture this week. I'm going to post a meal, a picture of my meal and share the recipe this week. I'm going to post an invite to my challenge group this week. I'm going to post whatever it was. I would write down all the ideas that I had so that come those days or those mornings, those would be the times that I would, okay, I'm going to pull from my list and I'm going to write this. I did a lot of posts that I typed up and saved them in the note section to my phone. And I also send myself like texts. So I just text my email address and it comes back through to my text messages. And I saved a lot of posts in the post bank. That's what we would call it. So that when I had a picture, I could literally pull the picture from my camera roll, pull the text from my note section and get it up there and have it take 2 minutes on the busy days that I had. I created my event pages monthly. This is something that I don't do as much, but when I do, I see a bigger success in the amount of people that I get to commit. So when I was working full time and I actively started coaching, my first 4 months, I only invited through my event page. I did not send personal messages. And I wish, obviously, that I didn't do that looking hindsight, but it saved me a lot of time. Even when I did start sending those private messages, it saved me a lot of time just inviting all of my Facebook friends to my event page and having those conversations when I had time. So that was something that I made sure every single month, okay, this is what I need to do to get my friends to know that these are the events that I'm hosting and this is the group that I'm hosting, to save me time to have to message 500 people and say, hey, would you like to be interested, or would you like to join my group? Another thing that I would do when I was inviting to those event pages was when people would RSVP, I wouldn't respond right away, because then it took, instead of 20 minutes to make the event page and send out the invites, now I'm sitting at my computer for 4 hours, which it happened to me, but I would sit at my computer for like 4 hours and someone would be like, hey, I'm interested in your event page. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, what are your goals? What do you want to join? And they're like, how much is it? I think even Jess was one of my very first challengers. And I think maybe it wasn't her, but somebody was like, oh, how much is it? And I was like, 160, like blah, blah, blah. And like looking back, I'm like, why did I do that? But so I just tried to not answer those messages when I was doing things in a time crunch. And then another thing that I did was create time during the day on Sundays to plan out and create business hours for myself. So if I knew that I had to go to work and then I had to go to practice and then I went to stay at my dad's from 10 to 10:30, when I got home, I would do my workout. And then from 10:30 till 11:30, I would answer my messages, so that when I got home, I didn't even have time to convince myself otherwise. I couldn't say I was too tired from my 2.5-hour practice. I literally was like, all right, I'm going to go to practice. I'm going to come home and do my workout and then answer messages. So that's what I did, because we can all talk ourselves out of doing our workout at 10 o'clock at night. But so keep it part of your schedule. What else? Oh, so towards the end, when I started to make that shift of, okay, I'm doing all these things, I would like to coach and see how that works out for me and see if that's something that I can pursue and devote all of my time that I sit at my desk at my 9 to 5 to coaching. I started to, once my business started to grow and my income started to match up my full-time job, the biggest thing that I can give you guys a tip on is to continue to grow your business, because it's very easy when it gets to like a really big team and you have a lot of coaches under you who are also working the business and who are taking this business seriously and helping people, and you have a lot of challengers. It's really easy to start getting into management mode and try to just keep the people that you have and make sure that, you know, oh, this person's going to be so successful. But if I did that, and I know Ashley can relate too, we wouldn't be here right now, and we would probably be back at another full-time job. So I started putting more time into Beachbody because I knew that eventually that would match up and I would be able to leave my full-time job. So I did that after 2 years, I think, left my full-time job. I stopped coaching cheerleading. I danced for one more year after that. And then now I don't do any of that stuff. And I live in one house and just do this solely. So I think that's everything that I wrote down. Let me just check really quick. Yeah, I think that's everything. Does anyone have any questions just about like time or anything like that before we switch over to Ash? Because her and I have very different stories and different tips, obviously, too. So we thought it would be helpful for us both to share. No? Okay. All right. I will mute myself and you can take it away.
Okay, cool. Okay, so first off, I want to start by saying, even though we both work full-time Beachbody, like if your goal is not to be a full-time Beachbody coach, like that's totally fine. This is just to, like, this call isn't like to convince you that you need to be a full-time coach. This is just to kind of give you an idea of how you can fit it into your busy lives, because we totally get it. And even like I find myself, I find it harder to fit coaching into my life now, being home all the time. And it's probably the 2 kids compared to 1, but it's because I have more time, I guess, to do it. So I have to be more strict. But something that I wrote down like really, really big first off is just belief in yourself. You have to believe in yourself that you can be successful in this business. And that's whatever your goal is. You guys might love your current jobs. You might be in school going, you know, for something that you absolutely love. And that's amazing. Like if you love what you do, then keep doing it. And this is a healthy habit that also makes you income on the side. And that doesn't mean that this healthy habit that makes you an income couldn't grow to be something that could eventually pay for your mortgage or pay all of your student loans off or whatever on top of your job. But no matter what path you want to take, like, and that will change, because that's something that I wanted to talk about, is when I first got into this business, I was a challenger, and I joined as a coach just to make, it was more for the accountability. A lot of you guys have heard my story, but it was more of just the accountability. I didn't want to lose, or I didn't want to gain back the weight that I lost in my first challenge group, because for the first time ever, I like actually saw results. So I knew if I post online, then I would actually like keep doing my workouts and stuff. So that's the main reason why I started as a coach. And then obviously coming off of a first maternity leave, we went from from 2 incomes to 1. And that time in our life was really hard when I was out of work for 3 months. And so I was like, I'll start coaching. My husband was away in the academy, and then he was stationed like 2.5 hours away living down there. So I was home by myself, basically a single mom, for like 7 to 8 months with a baby under 1. And I was working and I was doing this. And so I had to just kind of believe in myself that I could actually do it. Because when I first started as a coach and started to like run challenge groups, I remember I was so excited because it was something new. Like I was saying, I was by myself with a young baby. So I just wanted like some adult interaction while I was home. And I was so excited to sign up. I created my first challenge group event. I don't even remember what it was, but like people were messaging me and I had no idea what I was doing. And they were like, what's this all about? I'm like, I don't know, but you need to join me because it's so much fun. And like, I was just excited about it. And probably because I was excited that I was feeling good about myself too. But I also was working as a hairstylist, and I worked at that point, I think I switched to 3 days a week, but I worked 10 to 12-hour days. So I was there all day. And I am like someone who hates rushing. I hate alarm clocks. I hate having to be somewhere. And then like, if any of you are moms or have ever watched someone or even like have an animal that you have to like let out and feed, it's like, it's stressful enough to get yourself ready and out the door. And then you have to do that with like an infant who like are on their own time. So I was always late, and I'm someone who is never late. And I just would get such anxiety every day that I would go to work. And I loved my job. I loved the people that I worked with. I loved my clients. I honestly never thought I would leave that job, but I started to get this like built up anxiety every time I would have to go to work. And I never felt that way before. And so slowly I started to see my business just kind of have this compound effect. And I want to also point out that like, I didn't do anything massive to make my business into what it was to be able to put in my 2 weeks at that job. I wasn't like inviting 100 people a day. I wasn't selling 50 challenge packs every single week. Like, no, my coach told me like, our coaches always said, hit Success Club. So I always hit Success Club because they're like, if you want to move your business forward, hit Success Club. And so from the day I signed up, I've never not hit it. And because it's always been such a priority to me, like no matter what, rather it's the last day of the month, like the last couple hours, like I am finding people to sign up for a challenge pack or something because I'm like, that's how important Success Club is to me. So I was always hitting Success Club. I was always shooting for more, but that's 3 people a month. So that's not massive numbers. And I wasn't doing these like huge daily things. What I would do is I was working on myself still, which I think we all have to kind of, if you're at that point where you're maintaining, or like I'm at that point where now I'm back to like that challenger phase where I'm in it again, like trying to lose baby weight. We have to remember that we're on our own journeys, and we have to remember to always stay consistent with that and share that. So I basically posted when I did the things that I needed to do for myself. So I ran a challenge group every single month, and I want to kind of like drill that into your guys' heads is like, no matter what, challenge group every single month. And there would be months where I would have 1 person or I'd have 2 people because I would throw it together last minute, and I would just be like, hey, Car, you run it, because we didn't run our groups together. I don't know why, but up until like the past year, we always ran our groups separately. So I'd be like, do you have a group starting? You only have 1 person. Like, I'll jump in and I'll help you. And she'd be like, sure, or vice versa, or anyone on the team. If we had 1 person, we figured it out and we got them in a group and we made a group happen. So always was a group. And like Car, I also always did create event pages. And I also need to get back to doing that because it was just this really easy, no pressure way to kind of let people know what you were doing. And then when you message them, they kind of understood a little bit like what you were inviting them to. But so a group every single month, no matter what. And so I participated in the groups as a challenger. And because of that, I saw awesome personal results. I lost 50 pounds with Beachbody after, it took me like 1.5 to 2 years, but it compounded over the months, and I participated as a challenger. And so the way that I kind of shared that on social media was I would wake up in the morning, and before I would even get out of bed, I would get my son out of bed for the day, I posted in my challenge group. And we luckily now with the app, if you guys are hosting the app, you can schedule all of those. So that kind of takes that guesswork out, but we didn't have the app, and you can't pre-schedule in the group. So I would wake up, copy and paste, post the morning post in the group. So I got that out of the way. I'd check into anything if anyone posted in there. And then I would do my workout. So this is something that I'm going to do anyways. And then I would post about it. I would take a picture and I would post that I got my workout done, or post something about my workout, a video, whatever it was. I make my shake. I drink my shake every day on the way to work. I'd post about that. And then, I would post about even just like packing my lunch, because something that was huge for me was that I ate out almost like every day at work when I would go into work, like lunch and dinner, and sometimes grab breakfast on the way in. And then I was one of those girls that said I didn't have money for a challenge pack, except for I spent probably like $20 a day just on crap food, if not more. So I would even post that I like packed my lunch or my dinner for the day, or when I was at work and I had 5 seconds to throw down food, I'd snap a picture of it and let people know what I was eating. So I was basically posting the things that I was doing just to keep myself on track and sharing that with people. And then same thing, just like at nighttime when I would get home, I'd get home really late. Sometimes, I mean, Jackie knows, me and Jackie worked together at the salon. Sometimes we were there doing, I don't know what, until like midnight. But I'd get home really late, and if I had messages that needed to be answered, I'd answer them quick before I went to bed. And it was kind of like that mindset. It's like, just do it. Like, just get it done. Just answer those messages, because I just kind of started to see that, you know, it would make me less stressed if I just kind of did it and not get it over with, but just got it done for the day, rather than keep procrastinating. So I just did those simple things. Like I said, I wasn't doing massive amounts of these things. And I think that's what like people just need to hear and understand in general, is that to go full time, or even just to be successful, to earn a certain amount of money, to, you know, whatever your goal is, like, don't think that you need to be doing 50 of every single thing every single day. Don't think like, I'm at Success Club Zero right now, I need to invite 100 people every day until the end of the month. Like, no, I mean, that's going to burn you out basically. And then it's not going to be fun anymore. Coaching should be enjoyable. Like, to me, like I was saying, I loved my job, never actually believed in myself that I could do anything other than be a hairstylist. And once I started to feel better about myself, and I started to like get my health on track, and I enjoyed this, and it was fun for me, and I loved interacting with my team and the people in the challenge groups, and just like, I'm like, what kind of community is this? Like, usually girls are so catty and like hate each other, and we're on here like cheering each other on, like saying they look good and all that. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like, this is what everyone needs in their life. And so then I wanted to share that. So it was fun for me. So don't try and like burn yourself out, because then this won't be fun anymore. And then it's going to be like that job that maybe you do hate, that you go to every single day, where you're like, I wish I didn't have to go to work tomorrow. I wish that, you know, my boss would recognize that. Like, recognition was something I never got at work, from our boss, like totally like appreciated. Jackie knows this. And that was something that we bitched about like every single Friday night when we would go out after work. And so it's like, now I get so much of that, and it makes my heart happy, and it, you know what I mean? Like, we all love that. So it's like, don't burn yourself out. Do those like small things, and just do them. And I also want to point out that I didn't get to necessarily do it daily. We talk a lot about like, do this amount daily, do it every single day. I want you to know it's okay if every single day you don't get to work your business. But I want to point out that if you don't get to physically send out messages one day, you need to make sure that you're at least sharing your journey always. You're always being present on social media. You're always showing up in your challenge groups. You're showing up for yourself, and you're showing up for the people that follow you that are too afraid to message you, but really need your help. Because when we kind of just disappear from Facebook and Instagram, and then it's like a week goes by or 2 weeks go by, and then we throw up a post, and then we're like, this sucks, I suck, nobody's messaging me, why is nobody contacting me to sign up for my group? It's like, people want to know that like you're in this because it's legit, because it's real, because it's helping you. They don't want to see that you show up 2 times a month to throw up a post because you're trying to sell something. So if you can't do the business activities daily, just make sure that you have these an idea in your head of what you need to do, and that within that week it gets done. And that's honestly all that it needs to do, because like how Car was saying, on Sunday she used to set up her week. Like I would have full days off, obviously working 3 days a week. So those days I had a little bit more time to get those things that I really needed to get done. Whereas at the salon, when I was there all day, sometimes I didn't get a lot of breaks. So it would be like 10 minutes in between clients, or if there was a cancellation or something, where I'd be answering messages. Or something that I did a lot too was I worked from a list, so that I knew throughout my day, if I got to it, this is what I needed to do that day, or these are the names that I needed to reach out to that day. And a lot of my stuff was just copy and paste. It would be literally the same thing, that, the same invite, same thanking them for liking my post or whatever, but I knew who those names were. So working from a list is going to be huge. But I think the biggest thing is just in your daily habits that you do every single day. And if you guys are working on yourself, and even if you have a bad day or a bad week, if you share that still, then people will still follow you and still want to join you. Nobody is like expected to be perfect. And I get it, because I don't want to show up when I'm not working out or when I'm not eating good. I don't want to I don't want to say to the world that, I've gained weight, or that I've been eating like crap and I, feel horrible. Like nobody wants to share those things. But if you do share those things, people see that you're a real person, that you're not perfect. And then they appreciate it. And then they're like, I'm the same way. Like maybe what she's doing, I could do too. So just remember to always show up. And yeah, basically that stuff, and just believing in yourself and sharing your journey. That's just kind of what compounded over time to get to the point. And then I remember I called Car. Something happened at work that day, and I was just like, I had it. I was over it. And I literally called her and I was like, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm doing it. I don't even care. And I think I was either at my matched income or I was very close. I can't remember, but I was like, I cannot take this one more second. Like I'm going to do something I love. And then I just did. And it was literally the scariest thing in the world, but it obviously has paid off. So, but I just wanted to kind of like get in your guys' heads that it's not these like massive numbers, these massive amounts. If any of you are in the new looks, absolutely nothing against Raina, but like she'll post things like she sent out 100 messages or 100 friend requests and 100 this. And it's like, she is obviously insanely successful, but like, you don't need to be doing that to be successful. It's just like, don't get overwhelmed by those large numbers and all of that stuff. Just take it day by day and just do what you know you need to get done. And if you don't know what you need to get done, then reach out to your upline coach and they can help you with a schedule to kind of get to that. But that's me, and that's my time management.
I love it. Does anyone have anything that works for them? Because I know just for the coaches that I know your schedule and the things that you do for your job and stuff, do you guys have things that you do that help you stay on track with your groups or posting or anything like that that you want to share? Don't be shy.
I definitely a to-do list. I mean, I love a list. I make a list for a list, like have so many lists. But I don't know if anyone else uses Teamsy to track their business. That is like a lifesaver. I mean, it literally tells you exactly what you need to do as far as invites and, reaching out to new people, follow-ups, whatever. So it's like that way you don't even have to think about it. You just log in, you do what you have to do, and then get off. So like for me, working full-time, on my lunch break, I have like anywhere from half an hour to an hour. I'll just go log into my Teamsy and run through it quickly, and you just feel so productive, and it keeps you on track. So if anyone is struggling, I would suggest using that to track your business.
I feel like you're really good with time management in general, Tiff, because like if you guys don't follow Tiff on Instagram, like This girl is up at 6 a.m. every single day before work, and she never misses a workout, and I'm always so jealous of her. I'm like, I wish I could be up that early, but it's like, it's because she needs to be. It's because she knows that probably if she doesn't get up and do her workout at 6 o'clock, her day's going to get going, and then when she gets home from work at 6 p.m., like, she doesn't want to do it. And it's like, that's a lot of people's issues. It's like, you just have to do it. You just have to get it going and do it for a week and get into that routine.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing too is don't get paralyzed by your list, because I remember that when I was working at my full-time job and doing all these things, and I would say, oh, I need to still create my challenge group. I still need to create my event page. I haven't even posted today. I still have to do my workout. And it's so easy to get overwhelmed by everything you have to do that you just don't want to do anything. But I think planning when you're doing those things, like Tiff, okay, if she didn't get up and do her workout at 6 a.m., she'd come home from work, and that's one more thing she'd have to squeeze in, when, because she planned it every single day, all right, I'm going to get up an hour earlier and do it in the morning. That's one thing she could check off her list. Now she feels like, all right, box checked, finished my workout, drank my shake, like did my personal development and things like that. But don't feel paralyzed by the things that you want to do. Just spread it out throughout your week. And, you know, if you don't get to making your event page Tuesday, it's okay if you make it on Wednesday. And I think regardless of what method you use, tracking your business is going to help save you a lot of time. Whether you're a new coach or a veteran coach, if you don't have a tracking system or you've yet to actually successfully use one, try something like Ash said for 30 days. See how it works for you. If you like it, continue it. If you're struggling with it, ask yourself if you've actually tried for those 30 days, if you've actually put your effort in. And if it doesn't work, move on to something else. Ashley used to do a notebook method. I had a whole binder. Like, I thought a binder was going to work for me. And I'm like, I can't lug this thing on the beach. Like, it's not going to work. So then I tried something else. I tried things on the internet. I tried, you know, Teamsy or Asana. There's so many things out there. But if you aren't tracking your business and you don't have a system, just reach out to your coach and just say, I've tried this and this. They're not working. Do you have any other suggestions? Because it will save you so much time than going through your messages on your inbox on Facebook or your Gmail or your Instagram messages that are just a mess. And I can't wait till they like organize that shit, because it's just like so not. But it will save you so much time doing that and having to remember, when did I talk to this person? When was I supposed to follow up? Because so many people fall through the cracks, and you don't want to start kicking yourself in the butt for just being unorganized and having people sign up with somebody else. So tracking system will definitely.
Hey, Carly, do you think maybe one call we could go through like a couple different ways that people do track their, you know, like, you know, she uses Teamsy. She could show like, okay, I don't put them in there. 'Cause I mean, I don't track anything.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe like when they put, like, not that you like something, you don't put them on your list, but when you comment or you have to follow up, where they go, like how, you know, each person tracks their stuff.
Yeah, like how it works and
just a couple ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we can do that.
Sure.
I think that'll be super helpful.
Yeah. Something about tracking that I wanted to mention, because I'm trying something new again. Because like Cara was saying, I'm very much a pen and paper person, but I'm very unorganized, but I'm organized in my own way, if that makes any sense. And I've tried a lot of the like online things. Like, I was absolutely loving Teamsy, but I find myself not physically always sitting at my computer. So then it's like I have to go back and like re-put everything in. So something that I'll show it to you guys once I get it. It's coming this week. But if you want to check it out, it's called the High Achievers Playbook. And there's a 20% off coupon code when you log on to the website. So it's like $40. It's this big book. It's basically like Teamsy, but a paper book. And it has everything. It's for network marketers. You even like check off when you worked out, water you drank, and stuff like that. And so I'm trying it just because I do like pen and paper, and this was a little bit more organized than me trying to organize a notebook. So I'll share it with you guys, so you guys can check it out. But if you wanted to just check out, any of you are a pen and paper person, that's supposed to be really good. So I'm going to test that out and see how I like it.
I love that. That sounds sweet. I might even buy it just because.
Yeah.
But no, we can definitely do a team call on that, and we'll just take like a poll and see all the different systems, and then maybe we can have a bunch of different coaches talk and share their screen for like 5 to 6 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Hey Ash, how much
Yes.
was that notebook that you got?
It ended up being like $40.
Okay.
It's $44, but when you log on, it pops up like if you put in your email, they'll give you like a 20% off coupon.
Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to get kicked off. Does anyone else have any other questions before we go? No? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for hopping on tonight, guys, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.